Welcome everyone to the Real Whovians cast. I am your host, Matrix Lord 212. So, while I was talking to Dan Hadley, Marty had sent me this, which is crazy. BBC confirmed the future of Doctor Who in a new Christmas special in 2026. Fans of the beloved series have much to enjoy ahead of the special, with the war between the land and the sea. And a new animation series for CBs, which is in development. Doctor Who will be back on the screens at Christmas 2026 with a special episode written by Russell T. Davies, with Disney Plus confirming they will not be participating on the next season of the sci-fi show. The BBC remain fully committed to the show and will announce plans for the next series in due course to ensure the Doctor's adventures continue. Lindsay Salt, director of drama, BBC says, "We'd like to thank Disney Plus for being terrific global partners and collaborators over the past 2 seasons, and for the upcoming The War Between the Land and the Sea. The BBC remains fully committed to Doctor Who, which continues to be one of our most loved dramas. And we are delighted that Russell T. Davies has agreed to write us another spectacular Christmas special for 2026. We can assure fans the Doctor is not going anywhere, and we will be announcing plans for the next series in due course, which will ensure the TARDIS remains at the heart of the BBC. Before next year's special, fans of the beloved series will still have much to enjoy with The War Between the Land and the Sea, heading to BBC iPlayer and BBC One later this year, as well as a brand new animated series for CBs, which is in development. The Doctor Who Christmas special will be produced by Bad Wolf and BBC Studios for the BBC. All right, so that's a lot to take in. You could take a lot from that. One, Russell was still working on Doctor Who, writing the Christmas special. We didn't get it done this year. All right, but maybe that's why he liked my Instagram post when I said something to him about the Christmas special. But here's what's going on. There's been a lot of people talking, a lot of people speculating what's going on. I also was under the impression for a long time that this was going to be the case. A lot of outside influences, a lot of outside things. So you know what? It's over. Disney is done with Doctor Who. That's it. And I'm wrong. They're not going to continue. I'm wrong. Just like I was wrong with Shooty he was gonna do season 3, but then that got screwed up with Disney Plus. So things happen. Now, there have been people that have been saying that Disney's been done with Doctor Who, like Type 40, and I've been not agreeing with them, but it turns out that Dan was correct and Type 40 was correct. And Disney is done. Who knows the ins and the outs? What caused this decision? It could have been something recent. But Disney was not out, though, January 8th, and Disney was not out all these months up until this point. But Disney is out in general. So again, I don't know if we'll ever know what was the final decision that caused all this. But I would believe that it is very, very recent that this took place, that this happened. When I spoke to my source back in June, they were saying how, because they're from the BBC, that they were trying to get Russell to write a special, that they really wanted him to do one in time for the 20th anniversary, but they didn't know if that was going to happen. So I knew that Russell was not going to be out because he was going to be writing an episode. But Now it's confirmed that he is writing a Christmas special, but it's going to be next year. So a lot of things happen. No Christmas special this year, which really sucks. Not happy with that. But David Tennant and Billy Piper, obviously next Christmas. So what does this mean exactly? Well, I don't think anybody should think that Russell is done and Bad Wolf is done because that has not been made apparent. Uh, he is writing the Christmas special for 2026, but we have no idea what the hell that's going to be or who's going to be the doctor because I really don't think it's Billy Piper, although I feel she's going to appear, probably Rose Tyler. Um, but don't believe for a minute though, and this is what I'm going to take from this. These negotiations were going on all throughout the year with Disney and with the BBC. And even Russell said he's not privy to these conversations that were taking place. They were going on every single month. So this was not a thing that a decision was made on January 8th, like people have reported it. It is not a thing that was definite. This is something that's just been recent. Okay, so I'm talking very recent. So I am going to say that yes, Type 40 had reported all along for a while that Disney has been out, and now it is official that Disney's out, but that doesn't mean that Disney has been out for the whole entire year. Okay, again, there's been stuff going on, but I will give it to Type 40 that they were correct just recently that they continued on about that Disney is out. So I'll give it to Dan there. But again, it hasn't been the way it was painted. It wasn't that they were out the whole damn time because it wasn't. They've been negotiating every damn month. They've been talking constantly. Even months ago, Russell had said they're still talking and he's not privy to the conversations. And you can look up that interview. So, meaning that it was not a solid thing. All those people did get it wrong that Disney was out because it wasn't. They wanted it to be that way, but that's not the way it went down. So now it's official that Disney is out. It's December 28th and done. Now, is this a good thing? I don't know. We'll find out because I mean, they've done it all along without Disney, so I'm sure, they don't have the big budget anymore, but I tend to think that after the experience with Disney, they're not going to have a streaming service anymore. Period. They're not going to do that because they don't want to. I think that's one of the things that they didn't like is that their show was at someone else's mercy, and they didn't like that. And I know they didn't like that. So, and then Disney also, what I was told, creating Sonic Screwdriver was not something that would went over well either. So I fully expect uh, the real Sonic Screwdriver to appear next Christmas. But it's very unfortunate the way things went down. Even Shooty Gatwa thought he was filming season 3. He was all excited about it. He got silenced by Disney Plus, telling Graham Norton to edit that out. They had a discussion. It didn't go well, the conversation with him and Disney Plus. And he was let out of his contract. It wasn't bought out. It was just let out of his contract because he can't be made to wait, and he's an actor and stuff like that. Again, I, and feel very sad that Shooty it ended that way. But then again, you got to think that is it really over with Shooty still? Because again, he did say he wanted to fight a Dalek, and we don't know who the hell David Tennant's going to fight. Because probably David Tennant, Billy Piper going to be the Christmas special. It might be Shooty Gatwa too. Who knows? Hopefully it's the Daleks. I would think it would be the Daleks, but so other than that, how do I feel about the situation? Well, the thing is, a lot of people wanted Doctor Who canceled. and it didn't get canceled. And there were people that didn't want to cancel. I didn't want to cancel. I liked the fact that we had the Disney money. That was good. But behind the scenes, there was some things put into episodes that wasn't necessarily from Russell or from Van Wolf, and certain changes and certain things. And I know for a fact that the Sonic Screwdriver was one of the biggest things, which was ridiculous. I didn't like the Sonic at all. But again, do I think this is a good thing? I really don't know. I don't know if this is a good thing or not. I have no idea. I don't even know what to think, honestly. I think it's a shame that Disney, well, I would think Disney pulled out. So that's going to bite them. That's a mistake. And with the way Disney Plus is going on around now, with all these shows failing, that's just a dumb fucking mistake in my eyes. But they want to be out, they want to be out. That's it. So let's see what happened. First of all, one, I didn't get what I wanted. Um, but then again, other people didn't get what they wanted either. You know, some people wanted Doctor Who to be done and canceled and go for a big break. I never wanted that. So that's not happening, obviously, which is good. So it's sort of like we are all half getting what we want and half not getting what we want. You know, Disney is out, which I'm not happy about, and Doctor Who's still around, which others are not happy about. And I'm still happy Russell's still there, putting the Christmas special out. So, well, Dan's sending me messages. If you're watching the live stream, first of all, of all the people that I've encountered, I feel like I'm saying a Star Trek. I feel like I'm saying a speech from Star Trek to the Replicon at the end when Spock died. Nobody died. So first of all, I caught myself because I was like about to be like with Kirk making the speech. Of all the souls I have encountered in my travels, he was the most human. No, not saying that nobody died, but I've always said that I do like Type 40 out of all the people that I watched. I like the way he put together his podcast. So, we did not agree about things. I did not, agree with what they said. They didn't agree with what I said. But I was never enemies with Type 40. It's just we had a difference of opinion. Unlike some other people that just tried to destroy me and bully me off the platform. No. So I will give him his moment if he allows it. But I don't know if he will. Is it working? Yeah, it is working. I don't know. I don't know if he'll want to, but I would want to tell him in person, but we'll see. Yeah, so Disney's done. Type 40 called it. But what does it mean for Russell? I don't think Russell's gone. To tell you the truth, he's doing the Christmas special, which I knew he's still with Doctor Who. So, as far as showrunner goes, as far as I know, they didn't say anything about him leaving. So, we're both half right and half wrong, I guess. But I hope he pops in here so I can talk to him. I don't know if he will, but we shall see. I don't know. Thank you to Marty, though. for breaking the story to me. I definitely don't agree that Billie Piper is the doctor. Definitely not. The way I feel with Billie Piper is she's like, oh, hello. And then you would see her looking at the TARDIS and she would say the word TARDIS because she's Rose Tyler and she hasn't seen the TARDIS in a long time. And oh, hello, TARDIS. You know, that's what I take from it. That's my story and I'm sticking to it. I'm not going to say that it's definitely not, but I would be pretty goddamn pissed if Billie Piper was the doctor. And I know a lot of people would too, which I would feel, but again, with everything going on lately, we don't friggin' know, unfortunately, but I'm pretty confident that she's not. I would hope that if that's the case, that she switched places with the doctor, I would hope that we would get Shooty Gatwell one more time, but I don't know if that's going to happen either. Who the fuck knows, really? Except for Russell T Davies, because he's writing the goddamn Christmas special, so he knows what's happening. 100%. So anyway, it's funny. I was talking to Dan Hadley while this was going on, and Marty broke the news to me, and then I told him, Dan, and then he looked it up and he saw it, the article. So the article is up on BBC for everybody to see. Disney's done crazy stuff. I can't wait, John, for them to resolve that because I think I really still to this day feel that that was the most fucked up thing you could possibly do. Like I was totally against it in my video about Billie Piper and the regeneration. I was not happy at all. And I know it wasn't like she's not the doctor. He never listed her as the doctor. But I felt that was a fucked up thing to do. I was very angry at Russell too. Not happy at all with that. But I don't think anybody really was. Not that many people were. Some people were. Can't say nobody was. Some people were happy with that, but I wasn't. I cursed more than I ever did in the video. So crazy fucking news, man. Still don't feel though that A War Between Land and the Sea is coming out this year. I know some people are trying to report that. I still don't feel that's the case, but who knows now? Maybe to break the partnership that then they would just release it, I guess. Who knows? Maybe there's a thing in the clause that if they're out and it's official, they could just fucking release it. So, what a mistake I feel Disney's made. Now, let me tell you something. They're making fucking huge ass mistakes, but that's a huge fucking mistake. That is a huge mistake. Yeah, I hope so. Not for nothing. I see Alan Cumming with Russell T Davies working on Tiptoe. I wouldn't be surprised if Alan Cumming would be a doctor, but who knows? He's good enough to be a doctor, so But who knows? It would be great if somehow Shooty's still the doctor, and then they can do their thing, and then whatever, you know. But that David Tennant's part of that, so that's there you go with that. That's why he was tight-lipped when he was with Billie Piper, not wanting to reveal anything. But again, Russell T Davies, another script. What a shame, though, all those scripts he wrote for season 3, though. What a damn shame. I don't even know if they can be salvaged or not. Who knows? But obviously maybe they are salvaged because BBC pretty much say that they have a plan for the next season, so maybe they are using those scripts for season 3. Which when would you film it next year? So much. You know what? I'm glad though that that we finally got an answer. And again, there is no pause. Honestly, there is no hiatus while the war between land and sea still in the air. But you know that means with this announcement, you're gonna have them filming the Christmas special next year, or who knows? You know, you got to see what Billy Piper's schedule is really. I mean, is she filming anything? We don't know. I haven't looked into that. But anyway, I'm not gonna drag this out. Great job, Type 40, Dan Hadley, calling Disney being out. We still got Russell though. Who knows how long, but he's still writing Christmas special. So I was glad. You know what's funny thing is? The funny thing is that he always wanted the Christmas special, and for it not to happen, you knew that shit was fucked up because he made a bold statement that while he was in charge, there was always going to be a Christmas special. So, I honestly think that BBC will not be working with any streaming service with Doctor Who ever again after this because it's not just Disney because like Netflix even they waited years with Stranger Things where the kids have grown up. Like they just all these streaming services like people that do Fallout, all that stuff, they make them wait for years and years and years for a renewal. And this just seems to be the pattern for all streaming services. And if BBC can't have full say, they got to be waiting for someone else to make a decision. Screw that. Screw that. So I really don't think any streaming service is going to be with Doctor Who. I think honestly, the BBC are going to do it themselves, and they're not going to share him with anybody else. Period. And that's what I feel about that. But Dan was right. Dan Hadley from Type 40. That Disney's done. Now, again, I do want to stress though, I don't think we'll ever find out exactly what happened. What was the ultimate thing that broke that partnership? But it definitely was something recent, not something from January. It was definitely something recent because, again, if you go by the interviews with Russell said that he's not privy to the current negotiations with Disney Plus. And that was like months ago. So this was not something that was, as early as you think. But anyway, I still feel Disney is going to regret this decision if it is their decision. But ultimately, with Doctor Who, nobody should be, other than the BBC, should be doing Doctor Who. Nobody should. You shouldn't do it with a streaming service after this because everybody wants what they want and changes have to be made. I mean, will this mean that we'll get Davros back in the chair? Or was that a Disney thing too? I know Russell spoke about it, but was that really him or was it Disney? Makes you wonder. So we'll see. But I'm glad that Doctor's continuing, not canceled, not going anywhere. Thank God. I'm glad they're going to reuse the TARDIS set. That's great. I'm glad David Tennant's coming back. That's great. I'm glad Billy Piper. We're going to get that resolved. Christmas special 2026. It's good news overall, though, that we're getting confirmation that Doctor is continuing. Which, did you ever really think it was going to be gone anyway? Did anybody really think that it was going to be paused or hiatus for years? They were all wrong about that. I mean, the Christmas special is going to be filming and it's going to air for, so obviously it's going to be soon. They're going to be filming it. So there ain't no pause or hiatus because that'll be the shortest in history. So again, guys, it ended on May 31st. And again, while the War Between Land and the Sea is not aired, there is no pause or hiatus. And again, they're going to be filming the Christmas special now for next year. So there is no pause or hiatus. Never was. Just speculation that it was. But yeah, I'm pretty much. I'm glad Marty sent this to me, breaking it to me. Finally, we got the answer, whether we agreed with it or not. You know, I'm glad Russell is doing the Christmas special. You know, I tend to believe though that they're going to do the movie thing like they did with the other stuff. That they will put it in theaters like they did the the reality war and everything. I have a feeling that that's going to be a thing to generate income because they did make a lot of money when they did that all those times. So I do feel that that will be in the theater next year. But I don't know. This news is just fresh still. The only thing with Disney that I'm looking forward to is Vision Quest because other than that, there's nothing really. They're going downhill as far as I'm concerned. Disney Quest. So their Marvel shows like they come out with a little shit like they did with Ironheart and Echo and Wonder Man and all that crap. Like I could do with all that. I could do without all that crap. And some of their movies are bombing. And their Star Wars shit is just fucking ridiculous. Like all their properties, it's like majority of their properties they're shitting on. So you know what? You could have had. They even could have had Sesame Street. They didn't get that. They could have had a whole bunch of stuff. So is even Disney Plus going to be around that much longer? Who knows? Vision Quest is definite. We know that, but how much longer is that going to last? So to say I'm disappointed is an understatement. I think it's a big mistake. But Doctor Who has survived without streaming services. It will survive again without streaming services. And I really think that they should not be with any streaming service. It should be the way it's always been. That we learned a lesson from this. And again, I'm not happy with Disney Plus at the moment, but it is what it is. It sucks, but it doesn't suck because in a way you get Doctor Who to continue faster. A lot faster because they're going to be filming the Christmas special. So, what kind of pause is that? The series ended May 31st, and they're going to film a Christmas special now. So, there you go. Happy and not happy. It's mixed bag, I guess. But I know that Type 40 will be filming later today. So, congratulations, Dan. You were right. I was wrong. There you go. What else? It's like two children, me and him. With the capital letters, Dad. What? Stop it. Capital letters, wrong, Dan. Come on. Oh, come on, no. Here we go. Hasn't mentioned me, period. Alright, well, you didn't get it canceled, so there you go. Russell T. Davis is still there, buddy. I'm not battling Tarzan, by the way. I can understand it. I can understand it. I give you that. That's pretty fucking funny, though. It is. Jesus Christ. Damn. My God. You could be a fly on the wall and to see what was the kicker that ended that partnership. I wonder. I wonder what was the final thing that just was like, fuck it. You know? I kind of wonder what the final thing was in the negotiations. What was it really that just broke it shattered it into pieces? I wonder. I wonder if we'll ever find out. Crazy. But anyway, congratulations, Dan, Type 40. So, what else do I have to say? It's hard to do a live stream while this is going on. I'm not crying, bro. Don't cry now, lad. I'm not crying, bro. I got my Doctor Who stuff. I'm not crying. I'm not happy, no, about the Disney thing. Not happy at all. But I'm not gonna cry about it. But I got my Doctor Who still. I mean, I know you're not happy about Russell still being there, but who cares? We're getting it. But this is not a thing. I'm not battling people here. You know what? You got to have your moments, right? So you're going to have your moments. Matrix Law 2 and 2 was wrong. Matrix Law was wrong. Oh, no. It's not like I haven't been wrong before, but I'm not going to take it away from you either. You deserve to have it. It's afternoon. My God. You know what? You want to gloat? You know what? Dan's a gentleman because he could have came in here and he could have ate it up, but he didn't want to. He could have ate up the apology, but didn't want to. So I apologize, Dan. But that's funny. All right. What else? I'll see if he wants to. Let's see. I guess. Oh my God. What just happened? Somebody's flooding my Facebook. All right. I will stay here for another minute or two. I don't know. Let's see. Boy, this I'm really worried about the future surgeries because this thing was painful, man. My God. I feel like with my mouth I'm getting stabbed. And it's like there's not enough ibuprofen in the damn universe to stop this pain. But anyway. I hope that I pray that Billy Piper's not the doctor because that would be the worst fucking thing ever. That turned me off to just leave the period because I was like, no, not happy with that at all. But I'm happy David Tennant coming back, but I'm not happy with that nonsense. He's Rose Tyler. Gotta be. Well, doesn't have to be, but hope it is. All right, Does anybody want to come in there to get their victory? Speak now, forever hold your peace. No? You can. Not gonna fight you, but the invite was sent. It's always the weirdest times, you know, when they announce shit though. Just like I'm talking to Dan and shit happens. It's like, what the fuck is going on? Oh God, man. It's just so weird. What time is it there in the UK? It's like 5 hours later, right? 1, 2, 3. It's like 5:16 in the afternoon now over there. Shit, that's crazy. And it wasn't even a thing in the early in the morning, huh? That's nuts. Like I said, I'm happy Doctor is continuing because I never wanted to cancel, period. But you know what? Whatever. Oh well. Maybe it's meant to be. Maybe it's a good thing. What streaming services are going to be left anyway with everything going on? I mean, didn't Disney Plus been partnering with everybody lately? Hulu and HBO Max and everything. Everybody's been connected to each other to try to survive. Because I saw that. We had those bundles here. You're promoting the shit out of each other. Like, what's really surviving? Netflix, Amazon, you know, Disney Plus is like fucking dropping. So, and I don't even know what their lineup is past Vision Quest because I think they're done. Like, I don't know what Marvel series they're gonna have after Vision Quest. I mean, I think that's finished filming anyway. But I mean, I loved WandaVision. That was like my favorite thing, and Agatha, I love that. But they tried to do all these shows that didn't work, like Secret Invasion, all that shit. But that was garbage. A lot of movies didn't work either. So we'll see what the future is going to be for Disney Plus because it's probably not going to be that much brighter, you know. But we'll find out with that separately in Doctor Who. So now is a big talk of what the hell is going on with the war between land and the sea. Well, you know, is that going to come to pass with that rumor? I don't know. All right. Nobody wants to come in? You don't want to come in, no? Okay. I gave you the invite. All right. So anyway, it really fucking sucks to be wrong. Oh well. It's fine. Congrats, Dan, Type 40. All right. Take care. Bye for now, guys.